Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. If you are a regular viewer, you've probably already noticed that I am not in my home at the moment. That's because there's some construction going on in our building right now, so Charming Amy and I have relocated to a hotel. Now, our building is taking care of expenses and whatnot, so don't worry about that. We're perfectly fine. We're just going to be here for a few weeks. So instead of having normal movie spotlights that I do every week, I'm not going to be doing those. I'm only going to be doing new movie reviews for just a short while. This is only going to last for a few weeks. So soon, very soon, I will be back to doing my regularly scheduled movie spotlights and other fun videos that don't have to do with just new movies. But for the time being, just new movies. Now, I do know that I'm in the middle of my Halloween special also. Good news, I have pre-recorded all of those, and I've already completed my Halloween horror film. I'll be putting up the full movie commentary of the film I Bury the Living with special guest, my good friend Duke. So that will be coming still on Halloween Day, plus my wrap-up Stephen King movie spotlight at the end of the month. So all of that out of the way, now it's time to talk about the new movie that I'm about ready to go check out, Black Adam. Charming Amy and I were able to get a hold of some pre-screening tickets, so we're going to be able to see this movie a couple days early. Really excited about this. If you're not familiar with the character Black Adam, he is an anti-hero from the DC universe, on par, superpower-wise, of someone like Superman or Shazam. And you also, or if you're a subscriber to the channel, then you also know that I'm a big fan of the movie Shazam. I did do a movie spotlight on that one back in 12 Days of Christmas last year. So look that one if you want to find out some more of how I'm interested and how much I like the movie Shazam. But now we're talking about Black Adam. Okay, so this is starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I just like to call him The Rock. I've always known him as The Rock, so whatever. We are going to go check this one out, and we are traveling way out to the suburbs for this one, guys. Out to a place called Leawood, Kansas. This is it's going to be a little hoity-toity movie theater, not the normal kind of ones that we go to. So this should be kind of fun. I bet we're going to have those big, comfy, lounging seats that recline way back, you know, those things. I bet that's what we're going to find in this theater. Okay, enough yammering around. Oh, little background. Okay, the movie Black Adam, it looks like it's going to be following his origin story from the New 52 DC Comics, not his origin from back in Fawcett Comics back in the, I want to say, I believe it was the 30s. I think it was the 30s when this character was invented. But anyways, we're not going that far back. This is his more recent imagining and background and so on, but I think they give it their own spin. So anyways, now it's time to get out the door and check out the new movie Black Adam starring The Rock. Welcome back. Just getting home from checking out Black Adam, and you know what, guys? This movie is pretty good. I really enjoyed myself. This is a lot of fun. This is a typical popcorn action film. This is not a very deep film. Okay, so we're going to start off with the negatives, and then I'm going to end things on a high note. The first thing I'm going to say about this movie is it is your pretty typical run-of-the-mill superhero origin story. You have a pretty good telling of where this person comes from. There's a few, introductions of other characters, and a very generic, easily defeated villain. So all of that aside, I would say that that's probably some of the worst points in this. The story is a little bit on the bland side. A lot of this has been there, done that. Nothing really misses a beat. They've said that this was going to, shake up the power structure of the DCEU or whatever, and honestly, it's just a decent action film at its core. Now, one of the things that does kind of annoy me throughout the movie is how many times that they feel the need to remind you that Black Adam is not a good guy. He'll do something like wipe a bunch of people out, and somebody would be like, you should really try to be a hero. And then he'd be like, I'm no hero. He does this constantly. You don't need to tell us you're not a hero every 5 minutes, Rock. You can move on from that, okay? So those are probably the biggest negatives in this film, is that it loves to remind you over and over again that this isn't your typical charismatic, fun Rock character that we normally get. This guy is brooding, he's dark, and ooh, he's not so nice. Okay, so into the positives of this movie. Special effects look really good. This is again your typical CGI overload superhero film. However, they stay pretty solid throughout the entire movie. There's not a lot of points in this film where the CGI looks really bad. There's one point in particular where I was kind of taken out of the moment for it just a second because it looked a little crappy, but not enough that it's going to be noticeable for anybody who isn't like hyper focused on the film. So the movie looks really good. The Rock is very convincing in his part. He does a good job. All of the people in this film, all of the actors do a good job. I would say probably the person that I was impressed with the most was Pierce Brosnan. I really liked seeing Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate. That was a really cool part for him. I enjoyed that. Other than that, everybody does a really good job. You have your more important players in the film that you get to see a lot more of, and then some other people is kind of there for a little comic relief, and everybody in this film plays their role exquisitely. So the film looks good, the acting is good, there is a dab of humor that's thrown into this movie. There is a running joke throughout the whole thing that has a pretty decent payoff in the end, and of course, this is a superhero film, so don't leave when the credits start rolling. Give it a little bit. Trust me, there's a little something at the end of this that you do not want to miss. So yeah, all in all, if you're just looking for a good night out, eating some popcorn, watching lots of explosions and people getting melted by electricity, then this is definitely going to be the film for you. If you're a fan of The Rock and you enjoy action films, in fact, if you just like action films, you're going to enjoy this movie, even if you're not really into the superhero thing. There is nothing but action in this movie. There are moments where things kind of slow down a little bit. They go, oh, wait a minute, we got to do some character development. And then they kind of do some of that. But mostly this film is just non-stop explosions and superhero action, and it is great. There are some things that aren't in the trailer, they're in the trailers but aren't in the film, which is fine, which I love it when they do stuff like that, just kind of throw you off a little bit. So that's cool. And, at the end of the day, it's a good time. It's just a good time at the theater. Okay, guys, so here's the moment where I give you a grade and I let you know what I think about this movie so we can have some kind of list or something. And I like to tell you guys, in my opinion, I think this film is a solid B. One big old B. Like I said, the flaws in this film make it a bit on the average side, but the special effects and the fact that The Rock does a really great job playing the character Black Adam puts it into a solid B category for me. I think that most film goers who go see this movie in theaters are going to feel like they get their money's worth because, again, like I said, the bright shiny colors, all the cool special effects, this is a movie that you watch in 3D or on the IMAX screen or something like that. Okay, guys, well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.